KBS World Radio coming from Seoul, the Republic of Korea.
여기는 대한민국 서울에서 보내드리는 KBS 월드 라디오입니다. This is KBS World Radio, the overseas service of the Korean Broadcasting System, coming to you from Seoul, the capital of the Republic of Korea. We now begin today's English broadcast on KBS World Radio.
From Seoul, Korea, KBS World Radio News Today starts right now.
On today's broadcast, most services are back at Kakao and Naver, the country's largest tech companies, after a fire at a data center caused severe disruptions over the weekend. The military launches a drill aimed at practicing responses to North Korea's nuclear and missile threats. And the Foreign Ministry expresses regret after Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida sends a ritual offering to the Yasukuni Shrine, which honors Class A war criminals. This is KBS World Radio News. I'm Kwon Jaro. A fire broke out at a data center housing servers for Kakao and Naver over the weekend, disrupting Kakao Talk, a messenger app used by about 90% of South Korea's population. While most of the power supply has been restored, some services offered by the two tech giants have yet to normalize. Richard Larkin reports.
Services offered by two major tech giants, Kakao Corporation and Naver Corporation, were disrupted from Saturday afternoon after a fire broke out at a data center holding tens of thousands of servers. The blaze started at around 3:30 p.m. at an SK CNC building in Pangyo City, where both Kakao and Naver servers are located. While there were no reported casualties, the nation's hyper-connected society was heavily impacted as Kakao's mobile messenger Kakao Talk, online payment system Kakao Pay, Kakao mobility taxi app and other services were not fully restored for over 24 hours. As of 6 a.m. Monday, around 95% of power at the data center had been recovered, with text, photos and videos being exchanged as normal on Kakao Talk. Services like Kakao Pay and Kakao Games have also returned to full operation. Naver also suffered some disruption on its portal website and shopping services, most of which were restored within hours. Following their initial inspection on Sunday, the local police and fire authorities tentatively concluded that an issue related to batteries inside the building's underground electricity room caused the fire. While authorities were expected to collect evidence for forensic analysis during their second inspection on Monday, police also found surveillance camera footage showing a spark coming off of one of the batteries at the moment the fire broke out. Meanwhile, a parliamentary committee has called SK Group Chairman Chae Tae-won, Kakao founder Kim Bom-soo, and Naver Global Investment Officer Lee Hae-jin to appear as witnesses for an audit session on the service malfunctions on October 24th. Richard Larkin, KBS World Radio News.
President Yoon Suk-yeol has emphasized the government's role in preventing a recurrence of the national disruption seen over the weekend after the tech giant Kakao Corporation suffered a massive malfunction in services. In a brief meeting with reporters on his way to the presidential office on Monday, Yoon said the nation should make a necessary institutional response if a monopoly or oligopoly distorts the market or if they provide a service akin to national infrastructure. He made the remarks when asked about whether Kakao's dominant market share might have caused or worsened the problem and whether the government needs to do something about market dominant structure. The president agreed that a government review is needed to address the situation, adding that the Fair Trade Commission is deliberating on possible measures. Meanwhile, the National Security Office has decided to form a pan-government cybersecurity task force to respond to the massive Kakao network failure caused by a data center fire over the weekend. The Presidential Office on Monday announced that the task force will hold a meeting presided over by the National Security Advisor, Kim Sung-han, to discuss the nation's cybersecurity situation. An official from the Presidential Office explained that the task force was established because the Kakao incident showed that such an incident could affect not only the people's livelihoods, but also national security. Since the event confirmed that disruptions to the nation's platform-based communication network can have very large social ripple effects, the task force will discuss what to do on the national security level and possible measures in the case of a repeat occurrence. The military on Monday launched a drill aimed at practicing responses to North Korea's nuclear and missile threats. The Army, Navy and Air Force, as well as the Marine Corps, will participate in various outdoor exercises for 12 days through next Friday. The Hobuk exercise, an annual drill staged in the second half of the year, is focused on maintaining military readiness and enhancing joint operation capabilities. The latest edition particularly assumes various threats from the north, including nuclear weapons and missiles, and will mobilize maneuvering training sessions in kind. The military, meanwhile, said it has strengthened its surveillance of the north, given that the regime may attempt additional provocations on the pretext of the latest South Korean drill. South Korea has expressed regret after Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida sent a ritual offering to the controversial Yasukuni Shrine, viewed as a symbol of Japan's militaristic past. In a statement issued by Foreign Ministry spokesperson Im Su-seok on Monday, Seoul expressed deep disappointment and regret that Japan's responsible leaders have once again made offerings or paid respects at the shrine. The ministry said the shrine glorifies Japan's past aggressions and enshrines war criminals. It urged Japanese leaders to face up to history and demonstrate self-examination and remorse through action. Earlier, Japan's Kyodo News reported that Kishida sent the offering to mark a 2-day autumn festival. Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Economic Security, Sanae Takaichi, visited the shrine to pay respects in person. A senior official from the biggest U.S. business lobby called on Washington to provide tax credits stipulated under the Inflation Reduction Act to South Korean electric vehicle makers. Meeting with South Korean media outlets in Washington last Thursday, U.S. Chamber of Commerce Senior Vice President for Asia, Charles Freeman, said he was very concerned over the attempt to use the supply chain crisis to effectively reinforce protectionism. Freeman said he has conveyed his concerns to the U.S. government. As the U.S. Treasury Department prepares detailed regulations of the act, the official cited experts who have said that excluding foreign-made EVs would go against the South Korea-U.S. Free Trade Agreement and World Trade Organization rules. According to the IRA, EVs must be assembled in North America or meet a percentage requirement for battery component sourcing in order to qualify for a tax credit of up to $7,500. President Yoon Suk-yeol and First Lady Kim Gun-hee have begun moving into their new presidential residence in Yongsan district and are expected to be completely moved by the end of the month. Speaking to Yalla News via phone, a high-level presidential official on Monday confirmed the ongoing relocation to the former foreign minister's residence in Hannam-dong in central Seoul. It was chosen to be remodeled as the new presidential residence after Yoon's inauguration, given that it was only 5 minutes away by car from the new Yongsan presidential office. The move had been delayed, however, as reinforcement of security facilities and features were needed. A little over 11,000 daily COVID-19 cases were reported on Monday as the slide in infections appears to be slowing down. According to the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency, 11,040 infections were reported throughout the previous day. The daily tally is down by some 10,000 from a day earlier due to fewer tests administered on weekends, but increased by about 2,000 compared to the previous week. 11 more virus-induced deaths were reported. The benchmark Korea Composite Stock Price Index gained 7.16 points or 0.32% on Monday, closing the day at 2,219.71. On the foreign exchange, the local currency weakened 6.81 against the dollar, ending the day at 1,435.31. That's the news from KBS World Radio News Center in Seoul. I'm Kwon Jang-woo.